G'day mates, welcome back to Pharaoh. Last episode we did Thinis and we had the war for the throne. It was a pretty solid number of invasions coming in there. We actually held off, lower, what do you call them? Yeah, Lower Egypt up in the north. You've got to flip them around a bit, it's a bit confusing, but the Nile, the Upper Nile and the Lower Nile is how they thought about it. So this time we're going to be heading into Waset. We're going to be building the capital, Glory Threatened. Let's dive right on in.
The old way of life is gone, and most fear that Egypt will never return to its past glory. Osiris has turned his back on the people, and a series of low inundations has caused widespread famine. The power of the pharaohs, once unquestionable, has evaporated, replaced by bickering provincial leaders. Out of this chaos, two noble families have arisen and are attempting to seize control of the country. The rulers of Henenesu have laid claim to the throne as the rightful heirs. They are particularly cruel and are doing little to assuage the people's hunger. To the south, a new family, the Inyotef house, has risen to power in Waset. The family has done much to reunite the south, and now the rulers of Henenesu have engaged the rulers of Waset in a deadly civil war for control of all of Egypt. The Inyotefs, busy fighting the Henenesu rulers, have entrusted you with building up their home city of Waset. If the Inyotefs are to succeed in their fight against the Henenesu rulers and solidify their reputation in Egypt, Waset must be a touchstone on which other cities rely, providing succor or soldiers to those that request aid. Waset, which could be the capital should the Inyotefs reign victorious, must be a great city. Using the scarce resources available to you, build a sun temple and pyramid to show Egyptians the glory of the Inyotefs. Waset itself is not immune to attack. The Henenesu rulers and those loyal to them may threaten your city from time to time, and Henenesu may try to extort demons from your city's treasury. To defend against these considerable risks, build a strong army and navy to defend your city and to come to the defense of other threatened cities.
Alrighty, we have a building mission ahead of us here. We're going to require quite a significant population. 6,000 is bigger than we had at Thinis. Prosperity is right up there as well. We may need some fairly high quality housing. Kingdom of 70, culture of 55. I think this is the highest we have ever been. It's going to require mortuaries, it's going to require a lot of jugglers, and probably a few other things that are going to crop up as they do. And of course the ever-present monuments. Let's head on in and get to the city. Alrighty, scrolling around, we have a fair bit of water, a little bit of desert out here, but that's fine. There's a good solid chunk of water everywhere, little islands down here, which I think is probably going to be very good for building warships and what have we got here? And fishing wharves on as well. Very, very nice down there. Actually, probably up here might be better off for warships. I suspect they will attack us from the north because we are facing northern people up there. Ooh, what's that? Ruins of some sort. Anyway, it looks like we've got a little bit of farmland, meadow farmland. We've got some, what can we mine here? Oh, wow. Plainstone, limestone, granite, gold, and copper. So the three stones can come from there. And obviously the gold and copper will come over in this direction. Nothing here in the middle. So that is just there to look good. Make it look like there's a lot of it. We can only tap here and here by the looks of things. Alrighty, quite a lot of room on this particular city. I've spent most of our money, but haven't gone into debt just yet. We had 9,000 Debons to start with. I've thrown down the small pyramid right here in the center of this little block. This is going to be our, I suppose, our block to supply all our gold mining efforts. So we're going to, I guess, survive primarily off gold. I could probably turn a couple of these into copper and set a little copper industry up here to make weapons sometime in the near future. I don't know how copper exports. Let's have a quick look at that. They will buy it via land trade route, so it probably will be worthwhile to turn this into a copper export business once we've got sort of everything flowing and running nicely. And over here, what you can see is I've got a little, I mean, these people will cross over here. They're not going to be connected to each other just yet. But over here, we've got one of these little modified blocks that Sajik has made for me. Again, they're a little bit short and fat, so they don't fit, I can't fit multiple of them in. But this one here fits quite nicely with enough little space down here to do pretty much whatever I need. I could probably throw a little bit of industry in here, maybe have a dock or even some fishing wharves or something over here. And of course I can use this island for, thank you, I can use this island for all kinds of fishing as required. I did duck in briefly into debt, but we gained another, I guess, 4,000 Devons or thereabouts. So we are back out of debt, but we have no more safety net. So thankfully the gold here should start flowing in as people gradually move in. We'll drop that tax rate as well, just to keep them happy in the early parts. Short 157 employees. So they're definitely going to need to move in the near future. While we're here, I'm going to make sure that infrastructure is always taken care of, so that will use up the majority of our employees, so that nothing burns down. I have just noticed something very, very stupid. I built a dynasty mansion. How incredibly stupid of me. I'm going to require a city palace to be put down, and they are ever so slightly bigger. So juggling school, goodbye to you, and also not being in debt, goodbye to you too. We are going to build a city palace right there. Thought it looked a bit funny. Well, there we go, in debt. But now at least our gold will start to flow in. Alrighty, we are well set up now. We've got, I mean, the money is pouring in. We're only 1,000 at the moment. And as we get more employees, the money will come in a bit slower. But we've basically got a full little fishing area set up. We're storing fish down here. I'm about to start moving fish into the granary as well, so we can feed people there. We've got grain set up as well. Bricks are going to be the big thing for this mission. We're going to require... where are we? I can't even see it. Oh no, plainstone. My mistake. I thought this was a mud brick pyramid. It is instead a regular pyramid. My mistake. I really do need to pay attention to what I'm doing. So in that case, we're going to have to start quarrying plainstone and limestone as well. It probably could have actually... I'd probably fit them up here. There is a lot of space to fit all that stuff in. So we're not going to need bricks. I was mistaken. I've been preparing for a brickworks. I think we can still at least export them. We have clay and we have a lot of straw coming in. They'll buy copper. So I may as well open that trade route up and export copper as required. I've turned 3 of those previous gold mines into copper mines. What else can we do? We're going to need... Dunkel Oasis will buy pottery, beer, and papyrus. So if we get a source of reeds, we can do something there. Darkler Oasis will buy nothing spectacular. A bit of linen might be nice later. And of course, Kamoon will buy our pottery as well. Same as the last mission. Men the Fair will actually buy bricks, and they're a water trade route. So, nobody else? No, nobody else. Okay. I've been working towards bricks, but I think I was quite badly mistaken. Either way, I think we're going to set up the... What have we got here? Oop, wrong one. Farms. We're going to set up some fig farms up here as well, just to do everything. And this is something as well I noticed. What you can do is you can actually connect an irrigation ditch to the floodplain and then irrigate it up that way. And from there I can actually pull out beautiful, beautiful irrigation water instead of actually having to connect the ditch over here. So that's something I wasn't aware of, and I just happened to find it by chance. Could be very useful. Okay, first request is for fish. Luckily we are already prepared for that one. I got loads of fish actually. We're not actually feeding our people just yet, so we have loads and loads of fish, and grain will be coming in the near future. What I'm doing here is setting up a little area so I can actually start feeding over here and connecting, start tapping these areas as well without using feeder housing. Okay, request for grain. This is a bit of a problem. We are feeding our people, but unfortunately we've had some shocking floods the last couple of years, so hopefully we can actually get the grain stored in here. Otherwise, I'm not sure what we're going to do. Not sure just yet. See if we can set up a couple more grain farms, perhaps. Okay, this is an interesting one. Extortion by Henanesu. They are asking for a fair bit of money, and if we do not, they will send their armies against our fair city. We are, of course, not going to give in to their demands, but we're going to need to set up our military very, very quickly. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this one. Let's have a quick think about it. I suppose I could just throw a recruiter down right there. Probably wouldn't hurt it. I could probably also get an academy with sufficient money. Throw an academy down there. Then what we can do is get... I don't know where they're going to come from. I suspect they're going to come from the north, but I don't think they're going to drop in any armies just yet. So I'm still going to throw down a couple of forts just to be prepared. Okay, this is an interesting one. 6 months to get some figs. We do not have any figs currently stored up. So, well, we're going to do our absolute best to try and get this sorted, but I don't think we will get it in time. We'll have to get the second one. Alrighty, request for troops. We've got 10 months to send someone off to help thin us. We don't really have a huge number of troops available just yet. Why is that? Is it because I've forgotten to rebuild the recruiter? Yes, it is. What an absolute fool I am sometimes. Okay, we haven't actually got very many troops to go and help thin us. Hopefully we can get them in time. The figs, we're not even going to get close to that. We have to harvest them first. The Debons, we are... I forget who that is, but I think it's an extortion request, so we are going to ignore that. Which means the troops to thin us. It is going to be a small force to attack, so... I'm not sure what we can do. Hopefully we can build a few people up with our recruiter and then send them off. Okay, got enough to send off those figs. We've got absolute shit tons of them coming in now, and I'm going to keep stockpiling them just in case. 3 more months until Thinness is ready, and we've trained off, looks like 4 troops so far, although there may be more. There's a 5th one there coming over. So they are running all the way down from here. Thank you. All the way down to the academy and then over to here. So we are getting a couple of troops. What you've also may notice is there was a road connecting these here. What I'm hoping will happen, if... Nope, can't see them just yet. What I'm hoping though is that these fig farms, what they're going to do is they're going to overproduce. They're going to fill up that yard. And then they should be able to come all the way down here, cross over to this side, and walk all the way up to the only place that is currently accepting figs. And we can feed these people because the number of fish farms or the number of fishing wharves I can fit is just not quite enough. We have 1 month to send off people to Thinness. Let's send off whatever we've got, which is unfortunately only a couple of troops. Okay, our soldiers did actually return from Thinness. We somehow barely won that war. We've only got 4 soldiers remaining. That was a very, very close victory. Okay, only 2 months until a counterattack is coming from Henanesu, because we did refuse to send off those Debons. Hopefully we can stop them in time. Just doing a bit of a scout over my city. Ooh, looks like we might have a small crime problem there. Okay, Egyptian army is attacking us and they're coming from up here. We have our ships already in position to hopefully block them up when they arrive. We've got a couple little backup one here to see anything that goes through, but it looks like it is just a single warship and a single transport. I think we will completely rip them apart. Okay, request of copper. I think we have more than enough copper. We do not have more than enough copper. Why is that? Probably because it's March and we are just in the process of buying it all up. No doubt that will... I'll say stop buying it now. No doubt that will fill up very, very shortly. And another request for fish. If it's going to be like a generic request from here on out, I'm not going to bother showing them. If it's something unexpected, of course you will see me again, so they're getting a little bit boring from here on out. And here we go, extortion yet again by Henanesu. They are not really giving up the chase here. They just seem to be asking for these very small amounts in the hope that I suppose I will just give it through to them. I do have the cash, well and truly, but I'm not going to give it to them. Look at these figs. They travel clean across the city, all the way over here. And slowly this area is beginning to stabilise. It's not quite getting the food it requires on a regular enough basis, so I may have to throw down a couple more farms. Though I have thrown a little storage yard here and told it to accept figs as well. Hopefully that will draw them all across now. In the meantime, we are beginning to import beer. There's no barley available. We can't import it and we can't grow it ourselves, which gives us, I suppose, struggling, poor access to workers. That could be a concern. Either way, we are trying to get all our beer into here, and from there we will use a getting warehouse to bring it over to a more central area. You can see here we're getting a little bit of beer in already, and these guys are very shortly going to be leveling up to these beautiful, beautiful white houses. Here we go. I love these white houses. They level up. They are probably the most beautiful housing block for me, or most beautiful house level for me. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to keep leveling them up, but I do like to just leave them sit at this. They're just so good looking. And another Egyptian army attack. Henanesu is asking for our extortion again, but we are refusing to give into it. We are going to fight them, and if that's all they've got, then we're going to keep on winning. Looks like Thinness is under attack again this time. It's only a small force, but I think it is time for our very powerful dynasty to actually show itself to be as strong as they are. We're going to send off... it's a bit reckless. Let's send all of our forces. Send them off right now. Actually, can I send off... No, I can't send off those guys. Just all the land forces. We're going to dominate this one. And there we go, the pyramid is done. This beautiful little thing sitting here. Very, very nice. Do we have enough sandstone? That's the question. We are just short. We're going to need another storage yard. I did actually forget to import sandstone for a very long time. So we are a fair bit behind, or a number of years behind the 8 ball here. You know what, actually I could probably just get rid of these two and put in the sandstone accepting yards over here. And here we go, we've got more than enough sandstone to throw down the Sun Temple, and there it is. It's going to be done up very, very beautifully. We're still going to need to keep importing more sandstone, so these yards are going to see continued use. It's beautiful there. I might even, I could throw in, probably throw in more houses, but don't really need the population right now, so I'm going to perhaps throw in a couple of shrines. One to Osiris, and one to our patron god, Ra. There we go, beautiful. And they will guard the entrance into the pyramid. Alright, we are shooting in and out of debt because there are quite a few things that we can only import and not actually make locally. One of those is linen, one of those is papyrus, and of course the other one is beer. Between those 3 imports, we are actually struggling a little bit keeping money. We've gone from debt up to 3,000 positive, back down into debt again over the course of just a couple of months. Money is fluctuating quite considerably. Hopefully though our tax dollars will start picking up. We're making about 4,000 Debans per year, which will hopefully offset quite a bit of our costs here. Yeah, look, our imports cost nearly 13,000 last year. And the Sun Temple itself is finished, looking very, very nice down here. Built into the city here. I could probably throw... Yep, thank you. I could throw a little bit of greenery down here, make it all look nice, and then I basically think we are set. We're all done. All we're doing now is waiting for... You know, I don't really like how that repeats so much. So how about... There we go, looking very, very nice over here. You know, it's a fairly solid little block. I could build more out here if required, but we are... How far are we actually from population? We need 6,000 people, which we will have when this block here gets a little bit more stable. I had forgotten that this entire thing filled up with figs, so we had a bit of a problem there for a little while. And here we go, our first operational Senate house. It is built out here, looking very, very nice. Hopefully we can, let's just make it look a little bit more beautiful. There we go. So we've got a Senate house outside our main family mansion, so we actually head down and play some board game, drink some beer, head down to the local pub. And this city is basically done. Let's have a quick look at it one more time. We have sufficient culture, prosperity, kingdom rating, the population is acceptable, and the monument is all set up. Let's have a quick look over one more time. We've got a whole bunch of forts up here that we never use. We've got some good farming down here, and some fairly solid grain farming. Although it looks like we could use another little festival off to Osiris, just to make sure he floods next year. These are fairly nice houses, a little bit unstable, this housing block, simply because the different types of food here seem to be getting things a little bit mixed up, and that was mainly due to the request system and the fact that it's hard to feed these ones across the river a little bit. Down here we've got this one here as well. They're looking very nice. Again, they seem to have lost their scribal school, which is odd, considering there is a hell of a lot of papyrus right there, and a scribal school waiting. That is just another little Pharaoh bug, but again, things are looking very nice there. Still area down here, they've been upgraded to some they need beer to go a bit further, but they've got their pottery, and they are the, I guess, the slumming area over here, with all the military stuff and the industry, the shipwright and so on and so forth. Over here with the beautiful, beautiful Sun Temple, looking spectacular. A couple of little statues up there, and again, these are fairly nice houses. They do need access to a courthouse, but that's not something I'm going to bother providing, mainly because I do like the look of those white houses. And again, we've got a nice big industrial area here, pumping out everything and trading. Everything comes in, basically everything from all the water routes, and indeed most of the land trade routes drop stuff off somewhere near here, and then we go and pick it up and take it over to the various parts of the city as required. Up here are our gold mines and stone quarries. We've got our weaponsmiths up there. Thank you very much, Osiris. And this beautiful, beautiful pyramid surrounding by a... Well, this is interesting. I had never actually planned on upgrading them this fast. They don't have the resources to keep them going here, but apparently the dancer bug is teleporting. In Cleopatra, dancers will occasionally teleport away, and for some reason they're providing entertainment down here, even though I did not want them to come down and make these white houses. I was hoping for the lower level brown houses, but you know what? It's a mixed, eclectic bunch, and it does look very, very nice and organic. So with that, let's head on and finish the city. Everything is still looking good. We can send off all the weapons. We have loads of them. Pottery, you know, we don't actually have loads of them. While I've been talking, we've run out. And luxury goods, we've been exporting those just to keep us going. And let's get a couple more bits of pottery. There we go. Send that one off. And we're all done. And we can go onwards to victory.
Through your diligence, you have fed a hungry people during a time of war and supplied the necessary reinforcements to defeat this enemy once and for all. Your accomplishments will not soon be forgotten.
And there we go. That was a beautiful mission. I do love these building missions where I can sort of sit back and relax for a little while. The military ones really had me running around, and I'm doing the best I can just to keep everything together. But this one, again, we had some time to make things look just a little bit more beautiful. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. Make sure to smash that thumbs up button if you love some Pharaoh content, and I'll see you around.